gentlemen, and welcome into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. As always, presented by Heidemann and Associates. We're here at Corner Canyon High School for the Tournament of Champions. It's the Lone Peak Knights getting ready to take on Arbor View Aggies of Las Vegas, Nevada. Down on the court now, they are presenting the starting five for the Knights, and then here comes the starting five for the Arbor View Aggies. Let's take a look at the matchup at hand. We'll take a look at the Las Vegas Arbor View Aggies first. They're coming to this one at 2-0. Their first game of the season came against the West Jordan Jaguars, winning that one 64-36. And then yesterday they took on the Corner Canyon Chargers, beating the Chargers 68-52. They find themselves at 2-0 and looking to continue their run here in the Tournament of Champions against the Lone Peak Knights. For Lone Peak, they're off to a 1-2 start to the year. Got a win against Simeon from Illinois, 72-66, and then they've lost two straight, one to Timpview, 63-40. And then they lost to Alta 48-33. And now here they have a chance to knock off Arbor View as we are seconds away from getting this one started. It's going to be the Lone Peak Knights in the black and the Arbor View Aggies in their whites. Faro Compton and the Knights battle out. Knights win the tip, and we're underway now at Corner Canyon. Here come the Knights. That ball underneath to Burgess. Burgess against Compton. Playing it out to the corner. The three, no good. Bounces off the rim, brought down by the Knights. It's Jackson Taylor who brings it down. Burgess out. Looking for an opportunity. That's Staley with the three, no good, and brought down by Arbor View. Nice offensive rebounding there from the Knights, but unfortunately can't get any points on that possession. And now here come the Aggies looking to put up the first points on the board. Compton puts it up and can't get it to go. Off the rim, brought down by the Knights. Here comes Lone Peak. It's going to be Kramer. Burgess now taking it to the rack, and a foul called. This one will go against Faro Compton. First for the Aggies, and now Chamberlain Burgess will be at the line. Burgess puts it up. The first free throw, no good. And we remain at 0-0. Second free throw coming up for the Lone Peak Knights. Burgess puts it up and gets it to go. 1-0 lead for the Lone Peak Knights. It's going to be Romero to play it in for the Aggies. Darden Jr. blaze it back to Maximus Romero, and now Romero will bring it up the court. Romero near the top of the key. Has to play it back out. This one is now Sebastian Knox. Knox over to Townsend. Townsend looking for Faro Compton, but a nice interception by the Knights, and now here comes Lone Peak. Burgess, three. Or excuse me, now Staley with the three. That ball will be a foul. This one will go against Jackson Taylor. His first of the night, and now the Arbor View Aggies will bring it up. Once more with Maximus Romero. Crosses the half court. Out to Faro Compton. Faro Compton taking it to the rack. Outside now in the corner to Darden. Looking for options, but unfortunately that one goes out of bounds. Turnover for the Aggies. And it's going to be night ball with 6:20 left to go here in the first quarter. Still 1-0. Thompson Kramer will bring it up for Lone Peak. Kramer out to the corner for Staley. Ike Staley loses possession, and that one is going to be a turnover for the Knights. Arbor View will get possession here. Knox plays it in, and now Romero in the corner will bring it up. Passes the half court. Romero against Kramer. Underneath to Farrow. Farrow Compton out to the corner for Darden. Darden trying to play it back out to Sebastian Knox. Picked away by the Knights. Staley taking it to the rack. Puts it up and in. Ike Staley with 2 for the Knights. And it is a 3-0 Lone Peak lead. Romero settles it for Townsend. Townsend taking it in. Underneath now to Compton. Travel called against Farrow Compton. And another turnover for the Aggies. .5:27 left to go here in the first. It's a 3-0 Lone Peak lead as Thompson Kramer will now bring it up for the Knights. Kramer against Sebastian Knox. That is out to Taylor. Taylor underneath to Burgess. Burgess to the rack, puts it up. Can't get it to go, but a foul called. And another opportunity here to put Chamberlain Burgess at the line for 2. That foul will go against Brian Townsend for the Aggies. And we got free throws coming up for Lone Peak. First one is up and is good. Second free throw coming up for the Lone Peak Knights as Burgess at the line. Puts it up. Gets it to go 2 for 2 on that trip to the line. And it's a 5-0 Lone Peak lead. Good start here for the Knights. Now Farrow Compton will bring it up. Farrow Compton against Burgess. Puts it up and dunks it. Two-hand slam there from Farrow Compton, and it's 5-2. Aggies put an end to that 5-0 start for Lone Peak. Burgess will put it up. Can't get it to drop, and it's going to be almost handled there by Thompson Kramer, but unfortunately goes out of bounds and out. It'll be Aggie ball. Maximus Romero will now bring it up. Leaves it for Farrow Compton. Compton, who has 2, plays it out to Maximus Romero. Romero will try it from 3. Off the rim and brought down by the Knights. Lone Peak trying to come the other way. This is now Kramer. Out to Taylor. The 3 is good. Deep 3 from Jackson Taylor. Goes in for the Knights. 4 minutes left to go here in the first. 8-2 Lone Peak lead. And then we got another foul called. This one will go against Seth Haskett for Lone Peak. Arbor View now looking to play it in. Maximus Romero, 3 off the rim and brought down by Townsend. Puts it back up. Can't get it to go, but a foul called. And we'll have free throws coming up for Arbor View as they look to close the gap. Brian Townsend standing at 6'4", does a good job to bring down the rebound, tries to put it back up. Unfortunately, couldn't get it to go, and now we have free throws coming up for Townsend as the first one for Arbor View is good. 8-3 Lone Peak lead. Brian Townsend again from the line, puts it up and gets it to go. 2 for 2 on that trip to the line for Brian Townsend, and it's an 8-4 Lone Peak lead. There comes Chamberlain Burgess. Underneath to Staley. Staley can't bring it in. It'll say it take a deflection off of, I believe that was Brian Townsend. And so it'll remain Lone Peak ball as Jackson Taylor heads over to the baseline to play it in for the Knights. 3:48 left to go here in the first. Taylor scanning, looking, dumps it. That's Kramer puts it up, can't get it to go. Kramer brings it down again. Staley with the 3, and it's good. So far, so good for Mike Staley from beyond the arc. Second three of the afternoon for Staley. And now Arbor View trying to respond with Brian Townsend. Taking it to the rack, puts it up. Can't get it to go. Brought down by Compton. Compton to Romero. Three. It's good. Good job there from Romero to get the three, and now it's the Knights on the other way. Travel call, turnover, and it's going to be an Aggie ball. (11-7), a Lone Peak lead. Maximus Romero with the three to close the gap just a bit for Arbor View, and now Maximus Romero will bring it up for the Arbor View Aggies. Romero against Kramer, dumps it to Townsend. Townsend taking it near the corner to Compton. Farrell Compton now puts it up and gets it to go. A nice little move there from Compton, and that's two on the board for Farrell Compton. Chamberlain Burgess now here on the other end, and a foul called. Second foul tonight for Farrell Compton. Third team foul. And so with 2:39, we'll have Lone Peak ball as Haskett plays it in. Kramer to Jackson Taylor. Underneath, layup, and it's good. Nice move there from Ike Staley underneath the basket to put it up and in. And now it's a 13-9 Lone Peak lead. Maximus Romero. Timeout called. And so a quick 30-second timeout for Arbor View. We'll take one as well here on the Rewind Sports Network. Welcome back into Corner Canyon High School. It's the Lone Peak Knights taking on the Arbor View Aggies. 2:14 left to go here in the first. Lone Peak leads at 13-9 against the team from Las Vegas. Timeout was taken by the Aggies. And now Arbor View will look to play it in as they have possession. A couple of changes, too, on the court as Darden checks back in for Arbor View. And now here comes Darden against Kramer. Plays it out to Townsend. Townsend near the corner. Puts it up and in. Nice shot there from Townsend. All of a sudden, it's only a 2-point lead for the Knights. Kramer brings it up. In the corner for Staley. Staley, three, no good. Brought down by Townsend. And we got a foul called. This one against Thompson Kramer. (13-11), 1:49 left to go in the first. Arbor View will bring it up with Tremel Darden. Townsend dumps it back off to Darden Jr. Townsend near the top of the key will pull up for a three and brought down by the Knights. It's now coming the other way. Jackson Taylor trying to float one through to Haskett. Stolen now by Sebastian Knox. And now Knox will put it up and gets it to go, and one opportunity for Arbor View. And they have a chance to take their first lead of the afternoon with the free throw. Nice move there from Sebastian Knox. Free throw coming up for Knox and gets it to go. Arbor View with their first lead. 14-3 now. It's an Arbor View lead. How will the Knights respond as Kramer now brings it up the court? Gets Knox off his feet. Staley plays it to Burgess. Burgess to Kramer. Underneath now, Staley pulls up off the rim. Brought down by Townsend. Poked away, and a foul called. It'll be a foul called against Chamberlain Burgess. His second of the afternoon. As Chamberlain Burgess checks out. Arbor View will go to the line for a pair of free throws as they look to extend their lead with 1 minute left to go here in the first. It was a good start for Lone Peak. They were off to a 5-0 start. And then from there, Arbor View slowly crept back into this one, and now the Aggies lead. First free throw is no good from Townsend. And here comes the second free throw from Townsend, and it's good. It's a 2-point lead for the Aggies. Let's see what the Knights are able to do prior to the end of the first quarter as Kramer will now push it up. And a foul called, this one against Sebastian Knox. Fourth team foul for the Arbor View Aggies, as now Jackson Taylor at the baseline to play it in for Lone Peak. 51 seconds left. Plays it in, brought down by Bleacher. Bleacher will put it up, and it's good. Seth Haskett for three. Lone Peak back in the lead. And now Darden will try to respond for Arbor View. Back out to Jalen Dickel. That ball underneath, puts it up, and Dickel can't get it to go. Brought down by Lone Peak, and now the Lone Peak Knights trying to push it up. This is Cole Canton who plays it up to Jackson Taylor. Taylor double teamed, has to play it back out to Kramer for support. 15 seconds left on the clock. Kramer. This could be the last one of the quarter. Taylor puts it up and gets it to go. Huge three-point shot from Jackson Taylor. 4 seconds left, and that'll do it. There's 0.4 seconds left as Arbor View put the shot off but couldn't get it off. And so at the end of the first, it is a 19-15 Lone Peak lead. And we'll take a quick step away here on the Rewind Sports Network. As always, presented by Heidemann Associates. Stick with us for second quarter action when we return.
If you want to avoid your AC breaking down this summer, the best thing you can do is stay on top of your AC's annual maintenance. But if you do find yourself with an air conditioner blowing hot air, Any Hour Services technicians service all brands, and they can usually get to you pretty quick. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. Whether you need maintenance, repair, or replacement, the technicians at Any Hour Services can help you keep your home comfortable all summer long. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Welcome back into the Tournament of Champions. It is the Lone Peak Knights taking on the Arbor View Aggies. Getting ready to start the second quarter. It's a Lone Peak lead as they currently hold on to that 19-15 lead thanks to a last-second three-point shot from Seth Haskett to give Lone Peak back the lead. And now Arbor View in possession. Underneath to Townsend. Townsend makes a move and puts it up and in. Nice move there from Townsend, and it's now a 2-point lead again for the Lone Peak Knights. Cole Canton bringing it up. Almost loses possession, triple teamed. Can he get it out? Stolen by Arbor View. Now here comes the Aggies. Darden on a fast break opportunity, puts it up and gets it to go. Tie ball game once again here at Corner Canyon. That ball almost stolen by Arbor View, and it ends up going out of bounds, and it'll remain Lone Peak ball. Cole Canton puts it up and gets it to go. 2 on the board for Cole Canton, the sophomore. And now Arbor View looking to bring it up. 21-19. Knights lead. Farrell Compton puts it up with a three. Brought down by Jackson Taylor, and now Seth Haskett pushing it up. Here comes Kramer. Scanning, looking for support. Taking it in, out to the corner now. Underneath to Kramer, puts it up, can't get it to go. Back in the corner now for Taylor, 3, and off the rim, and brought down by Arbor View. Here comes Darden now for the Aggies. Trying to come the other way, we'll play back to Sebastian Knox. Knox against Taylor. Knox puts it up, can't get it to go. Brought down by Haskett. And now Lone Peak looking to push it up. Cole Catton to Haskett. Kramer against Knox. Pass to play out, back out of the corner now for Haskett. 18 left on the shot clock. Here comes Cole Catton to Jackson Taylor. And a foul called. This one will go against Farrell Compton, his third of the afternoon. 5:54 left to go here in the second. It's a 21-19 Lone Peak lead. First team foul of the quarter for Arbor View. And some confusion to sort out. As the officials over there having a word with the head coach of the Arbor View Aggies. So again, it's been a good start here for the Lone Peak Knights. They got off to a quick 5-0 start. And then did a good job to hold Arbor View defensively. Slowly but surely, the Aggies started to claw back into it. Took a short lead late in the first quarter, but Lone Peak have done a good job from beyond the arc so far here to hold this 21-19 lead. Still confusion out on the court as the officials continue to talk things over. And now Lone Peak making its way back out to the court. Arbor View, as well as Farrell Compton, heads to the bench for a breather after his third foul. And after getting everything sorted out, we'll send it over to Seth Haskett over on the baseline, who plays it into Kramer. Kramer almost loses the ball, and we'll see. It's going to be a jump ball, and I believe it will go to Arbor View. And it will be an Aggie ball. Turnover for the Knights. Maximus Romero will play it in for Arbor View. And now Romero will bring it up for the Aggies. Passes the half court. Puts it up, can't get it to go. Brought down by Townsend. Still Arbor View ball, and now we'll have a foul called. Foul called against the Lone Peak. Townsend now brings it down for the Aggies. Townsend against Staley, who does a great job defensively. Ike Staley with the block. And now Sebastian Knox, who knocks it out of bound. And it'll be Lone Peak ball. Ike Staley, who's hit some good three-point shots for Lone Peak. And now getting it done on the defensive end with a big block. Here come the Knights with Cole Catton, who plays it out to Ike Staley. Thought about the three, has to support himself with Haskett. Staley again fakes the three, but will have a travel call. Turnover for the Knights. And it'll be Aggie ball with 5 minutes left to go here in the second. Still 21-19 Lone Peak lead. As now Sebastian Knox will bring it up for the Aggies. Knox to Maximus Romero. Nicely guarded by Lone Peak. And now Romero taking it in. Out to the corner. The three from Dickel. No good. And Jalen Dickel gets tangled up with Logan Bleacher. The Lone Peak bench on their feet. They love the call. And so we'll have another stoppage in play here, and we'll take a quick step away on the Rewind Sports Network. Welcome back into Corner Canyon High School. It's the Lone Peak Knights taking on the Arbor View Aggies. Knights lead at 21-19. After a lengthy conversation from the officials, we'll have a technical foul called, and Kramer will go to the line for some free throws. Gets the first one to go, makes it 22-19. And it was Jalen Dickel and Logan Belcher who got tangled up. And they ended up calling it a technical foul against Arbor View, and so now after the two free throws from Kramer, it'll continue as Lone Peak possession, and now the Knights will play it in. Kramer looking to bring it up for Lone Peak. Looking for options. Dumps it off to Haskell. That's Haskett. And we got another foul called. This one will go against Seth Haskett. Third team foul, and we'll have possession back for the Arbor View Aggies with this 23-19 Lone Peak lead. Romero will now bring it up to Townsend. Townsend puts it up, and a travel called. The basket is no good. Turnover, Aggies. Lone Peak ball. .421 left to go here in the second quarter. Lone Peak lead after that basket from Townsend is no good, and now Staley will bring it up for the Knights. Cole Catton now on possession for Lone Peak. Catton will play it up to Staley. And so another turnover. This one against the Knights. As Chamberlain Burgess checks back in. And now Arbor View in possession will look to bring it up. Maximus Romero crosses half court. And now Townsend back out to Romero. Romero with a deep three ball and gets it to go. Huge three-point shot from Maximus Romero. Cole Catton now for Lone Peak. Knights looking to respond. Has a lane, puts it up, and can't get it to go. Brought down by Darden. And now Townsend on the other end for the Aggies. Townsend putting it up, and foul called. No good on the and one. This one will go against Chamberlain Burgess as he gets hit with his third foul. And now Townsend at the line to try to tie things up. 3:29. 23-22. And here comes the free throw to tie things up, and it's good. Tie ball game as Chamberlain Burgess heads back to the bench for Lone Peak. Ty Cogswell checks in. For the lead, and gets it to go. 2 for 2 on that trip to the line for Arbor View. Kramer to Staley, back out to Kramer. Kramer near the top of the key will take it into the basket. Layup, it's in. 2 on the board for the Knights as it's now 25-24 with another lead change. Dickel will now take it to the rack, puts it up, brought down by Lone Peak. Ty Cogs will now bring it up for the Lone Peak Knights. Kramer out to Staley. Staley with the three. It's good. Big three-point shot for Mike Staley. Extends the lead for the Knights. 28-24. Maximus Romero now brings it up for Arbor View as they look to respond. Ike Staley has been very good from beyond the arc tonight. Romero has also had some nice deep threes. That one no good. Cole Canton will now bring it up for Lone Peak. Back out to Haskett. Haskett, Staley, three, no good. Haskett with the rebound, puts it up, and a foul called. Seth Haskett will go to the line for Lone Peak. Ike Staley tried the deep three-point shot. Good heads-up play from Haskett to win the rebound. And now he'll be at the line for some free throws. Haskett, the first one, gets it to go. Substitutions for both sides as Jackson Taylor checks in for the Knights. Sebastian Knox, as well as Curtis Green checking in for Arbor View. Second free throw coming up for Haskett, and is good. 2 for 2 on that trip to the line. 2:20 left to go. Lone Peak leads it 30-24. Maximus Romero to Knox. Back out to Romero. Finds Knox, and a foul called. An off-ball foul for against Arbor View, and so it'll be Lone Peak ball. Goes against Brian Townsend, so now Townsend heads to the bench for a breather as Jalen Dickel checks back in. Kramer to Taylor, back to Kramer. Kramer will now bring it up for Lone Peak. Pressured there by Sebastian Knox. Nicely contested by Sebastian Knox. And a timeout called. Quick 30-second timeout taken by the Lone Peak Knights. We'll take one too here on the Rewind Sports Network. 1:59 left to go here in the second quarter. Lone Peak leads it 30-24. It's Lone Peak ball after the Knights take the timeout. And now Jackson Taylor scanning, plays it in, finds Kramer. And now Kramer will bring it up for Lone Peak. Kramer against Sebastian Knox. Kramer out to the corner. Haskett, three. No good, off the rim and brought down. Darden with the rebound. Arbor View pushing it up. Here comes the Aggies with Romero. Romero taking it in, up, and foul called. No good on the and one opportunity, but it'll put Maximus Romero at the line for a pair of free throws after the foul was called. Maximus Romero from the line. The first one is up, and the first one is good. Five-point Lone Peak lead. Romero, the second one is good. 2 for 2 on that trip to the line for Maximus Romero. Now Lone Peak looking to push it up. Thompson Kramer against Knox to Haskett. Three, no good. Brought down by Arbor View, and now Maximus Romero has an opportunity to put it up, puts it up, and gets it to go. A foul called against Romero. No good on the basket. Lone Peak ball. Romero not happy with the call. An offensive foul called against Maximus Romero, and so the basket will not stand. It'll be Lone Peak ball as the Knights bring it up with Kramer. Staley. Cogswell gets it to go. Ty Cogswell from three. Nice play from beyond the arc for the Lone Peak Knights here in the first half. As Knox puts it up, brought down by Lone Peak. And now Jackson Taylor looks to push it up. Taylor out to Staley. 45 seconds left. Taylor floats one to Kramer. A foul called. And it'll go against Maximus Romero, and so it's a 15 foul. Second on Romero. The Arbor View bench not happy with that call. Nonetheless, we'll have Jackson Taylor at the line for 2 for Lone Peak as they hold a 33-26 lead with 43 seconds left on the clock. Taylor, first free throw is good. Jackson Taylor again from the line. Second free throw coming up, puts it up, and it's good. 2 for 2 on that trip to the line for Jackson Taylor. Romero dumps it off to Knox, and now Arbor View brings it up. Knox taking it to the rack, puts it up, can't get it to go, brought down by Cogswell. And now here comes Jackson Taylor. The shot clock is off, 25 seconds left. In the corner for Staley, 3, it's good! Ike Staley has been lights out from beyond the arc here in the first half for Lone Peak. Corner 3 now for Curtis Green, no good, brought down by Ty Cogswell. Here comes Kramer for Lone Peak. 4 seconds left. Staley, 3, no good, and Haskett puts it back up, but can't beat the buzzer. And that's going to take us to the half. It is a 38-26 Lone Peak lead as we head to the halftime break. The Lone Peak Knights have been very good from beyond the arc in the first half, and is a big reason as to why they lead heading into the halftime. Make sure to stick with us for third quarter action when we return here on the Rewind Sports Network. Welcome back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com, as always, presented by Heidemann Associates. We're here at Corner Canyon High School, home of the Chargers, but today it's the hosts of the Tournament of Champions, where the Lone Peak Knights are currently facing the Arbor View Aggies of Las Vegas, and it's the Knights who lead 38-26 to start the third quarter. So sit back, relax, and let's enjoy some basketball as we get ready to get things rolling again. It'll be Lone Peak to get us started, as Seth Haskett here on the near side will play it in, and ball's in, and we'll start the third. Kramer will play it out to Haskett. Kramer. Back to Haskett. Nice little perimeter passing here from the Lone Peak Knights, as that's now in the corner for Staley. Staley trying to take it in on the baseline, takes a deflection off of Farrell Compton. And so that ball goes out of bounds and out, and will remain Lone Peak possession. It's going to be Jackson Taylor out the baseline to play it in. Scans, plays it into Chamberlain Burgess. We haven't really seen much in that first half due to some foul trouble early from Chamberlain Burgess. 3 from Kramer, deep 3 off the rim, brought back down by Kramer, and now Haskett. Burgess, nice shot there from Chamberlain Burgess, and that's 2 on the board for Lone Peak. 40-26 is the Knights' lead. Farrell Compton will now bring it up for the Aggies. Out to Romero. Townsend now underneath to Compton. Compton against Burgess, puts it up off the rim, brought down by Chamberlain Burgess, and now Lone Peak pushes it up. Burgess, deep 3 ball from Chamberlain, and brought down by Townsend, and a foul called. This one will go against Seth Haskett, and Haskett is called for his third foul of the afternoon. Substitution for the Knights as Chamberlain Burgess heads to the bench. Logan Belcher checks in. Maximus Romero will now bring it up for the Aggies. They need a response as the Knights lead. Townsend to Compton, 15 left on the shot clock. Compton in the corner for Darden, 3 off the rim, brought down by Staley, who's double teamed for a second there. Now Lone Peak can play it out. Haskett back to Taylor. Jackson Taylor scanning, looking out to Kramer. Kramer will now slow things down for the Knights as Ike Staley in possession now. Jackson Taylor back out to Kramer. Belcher, 3 from Taylor. Off the rim, in and out, brought down by Farrell Compton, and now the Aggies coming the other way with Compton. Farrell Compton making a move to the rack, ball's up. Still Compton in possession for the Aggies. Compton will now put it up, and the basket is no good. As a foul was called against Ike Staley. That'll be the third on Staley. And now Jalen Dickel will play it in on the baseline for the Aggies. 5:42 left to go here in the third. Ball up from Townsend, but a foul called again. And so the basket will count. It'll be an N1 opportunity for the Aggies as now Townsend at the line. Puts it up and gets it to go. 3-point play for Arbor View. And it's now 40-29 for Lone Peak. Cole Catton will bring it up for Lone Peak. Plays it out to Kramer. Kramer against Romero. Kramer puts it up off the rim, brought down again by Kramer. Still Lone Peak as Staley will try a 3, can't get it to go, and now brought down by Romero on the defensive rebound, and another foul called against the Knights. Fourth team foul for Lone Peak. Romero brings it up. And Arbor View will have possession here. They didn't reset the shot clock. That ball goes out, and now Arbor View will play it in. Romero now brings it up again for the Aggies. That's in the corner now to Darden. Underneath, Compton will put a dunk. And that's 2 on the board for Farrell Compton. 40-31. Let's see if the Aggies are able to put on a run here to close the gap. As a travel call, turnover for the Knights. Aggie ball. Timeout taken by Lone Peak. And we'll take one as well here on the Rewind Sports Network. So Lone Peak takes the timeout to see if they can try to put an end or slow down this Arbor View run. Slowly but surely, the Aggies have been cutting into the lead. Here comes a 3, and it's good. The run continues for Arbor View. And now it's a 6-point Lone Peak lead. Here comes Kramer. And a foul called. This one will go against Maximus Romero as he gets dinged for his third foul of the night. Sebastian Knox checks back in for the Arbor View Aggies. Lone Peak ball as Taylor plays it in on the baseline. Chamberlain now taking it on the baseline, tries to put it up, and a foul called. That one will go against Sebastian Knox, his second of the afternoon, and now Chamberlain Burgess will go to the line for a pair of free throws. Burgess, his first one is good. Second free throw coming up for Chamberlain Burgess, and is no good. 1 for 2 on that trip to the line for the Knights. Darden will leave it for Sebastian Knox, and now Sebastian Knox will bring it up for Arbor View. Compton. Farrell Compton puts it up, and now we have a foul called as there's a player down behind the play. It looks like that's number 3, Jalen Dickel, who is down on the court. Foul called against Jackson Taylor. And so while they take a look at Jalen Dickel, we'll take a quick step away here on the Rewind Sports Network. And so Townsend now at the line for 2 free throws after the foul called against Jackson Taylor. Jalen Dickel is able to get up and head to the bench after being looked at by the training staff here at Corner Canyon High School for just a little bit. First free throw from Townsend is good. And we're waiting for the second free throw. Conversations happening over here on the far sideline between the head coaches and the officials. And so I think we have the wrong player at the free throw line is what the arguments are being made over here on the far side. And yeah, so that's where the confusion is at. It should be Farrell Compton at the line, not Brian Townsend. So the first free throw from Townsend will be wiped off. We'll have Farrell Compton at the line for 2. The first one is no good from Compton. Second free throw coming up for Arbor View. And that one is good. 1 for 2 on that trip to the line for the Aggies. And now Thompson Kramer will bring it up for Lone Peak. Passes the half-court line over to the corner. Taylor 3. It's good. Nice three-point shot there from Jackson Taylor out in the corner and makes it 44-35 for the Knights. 3:40 left to go here in the third. Darden stolen by the Knights. Turnover Aggies. And now Lone Peak trying to bring it up with Kramer. Thompson Kramer now taking it out to Taylor in the corner. Cole Catton try to get it around, but a foul called. This one will go against Darden Jr. And that'll be the third team foul for Arbor View. It'll remain Lone Peak ball with 3:30 left to go. Ike Staley, who checks back in, plays it out to Kramer. Jackson to Burgess. Foul called. And it'll remain Lone Peak ball. This foul will go against Curtis Green, his first of the night. Ball played in. In from Staley, and a good shot from Staley to add 2 on the board for the Knights. 46-35. Lone Peak pushes their cushion to 11. Townsend trying to put it up, but a travel call. Turnover Aggies, Lone Peak ball. That's been one of the kryptonites of the Aggies tonight is those empty possessions off of those turnovers. And now here comes The Lone Peak Knights as Chamberlain puts it up, can't get it to go, and it comes off the hand of Jackson Taylor, and so it'll be Aggie ball. Maximus Romero at the baseline to play it in. Leaves it short to Sebastian Knox, and now Farrell Compton will bring it up for Arbor View. Farrell Compton. That's out to Maximus Romero. Romero will try it from three. Yes! Nice three-point shot from Maximus Romero. And we're back to an 8-point game. Kramer. Out to Jackson, cornered for Staley. Jackson out to Staley, three, yes! First Romero, now Staley as the two teams trade three-point shots, and it's back to an 11-point Lone Peak lead, 49-38, with 1:50 left to go in the third. Farrell Compton now against Burgess, underneath the basket, looks to lay it up, and it's good. Farrell Compton adds two, 49-40. 9-point game as Jackson Taylor in possession. Kramer. Layup, it's good. Nice move there from Thompson Kramer to put it up and in. And now Compton on the other end for the Aggies. Romero, deep three, off the rim, no good. Brought down by Jackson Taylor. And now Cole Canton will bring it up for Lone Peak. 1 minute left. Kramer, three, yes! The Knights are lighting it up from beyond the arc. Another three-point shot to extend the lead, and the Lone Peak bench loves it. Timeout taken on the court. We'll take a quick one as well here on the Rewind Sports Network. So after a pair of three-point shots for the Knights, they put their lead up to 14. It's 54-40 Lone Peak lead with 1 minute left to go here in the third. And Darden couldn't play it in on time. We got a turnover as Lone Peak will now have an opportunity to inbound. Plays it quickly to Kramer. Kramer thought about the three. Burgess to Staley. Three, no good, but a foul called. And it goes against Farrell Compton, and I believe that's his fourth. No, so it'll go against Townsend. Doesn't go against Compton, it'll go against Townsend. And now Lone Peak at the line for a pair of free throws. Burgess puts one up and can't get it to go. Second free throw coming up for Chamberlain Burgess. Yes. 1 for 2 on that trip to the line for Lone Peak as they extend it to 15. Romero near the top of the key, taking it in, out to Darden. Darden to the rack, puts it up, and brought down by Kramer. Darden steals it, a foul called. And it'll be night ball. Or no, sorry, they're calling it against Lone Peak. This one will go against Kramer, and so it'll put Darden at the line for two. Tremel Darden. First free throw is good. Second free throw coming up with 39 seconds left here in the third quarter. Darden gets it to go. 2 for 2 on that trip to the line for Arbor View as they try to close the gap. Lone Peak now in possession. Cole Canton brings it up, plays it out. Burgess double teamed, loses the ball, and now a foul called. This one will go against Brian Townsend, and he gets called for his 4th foul of the night. And now Chamberlain Burgess again at the line. 27 seconds left to go here in the third. Burgess will have a pair of free throws. The first one is up, and the first one is good. 56-42. Opportunity here to make it 57 for the Knights. At the line, second free throw is up and is good. 2 for 2 on that trip to the line for Chamberlain Burgess. And the Lone Peak Knights extend the lead. Shot clock is off. Romero and Arbor View as Compton trying to put it up. A foul called. And so now Farrell Compton will go to the line for 2. Foul called against Ike Staley, and that'll be his 4th foul. Compton with a pair of free throws. The first one is up and is good. Compton again at the free throw line. Second free throw is up and is good. 2 for 2 on that trip to the line for Arbor View. And now Lone Peak looking to play the ball up with 10 seconds left. Burgess out to Staley. Staley 3 off the rim, brought down by the Knights. Still an opportunity as Lone Peak have possession. Burgess underneath the can, puts it up, can't get it to go. Compton brings it down, and that'll do it. We've reached the end of the third quarter, and it is a 57-44 Lone Peak lead as we head to the fourth. Make sure to stick with us here on the Rewind Sports Network for fourth quarter action when we return. Welcome back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. As always, presented by Heidemann Associates. Heidemann Associates is a flat-rate law firm that is completely focused on you. Get a free consultation by calling 801-472-7742 or go to utah.law to find the office nearest to you. Getting ready to start here the fourth quarter as Compton puts it up and in. 2 on the board for Farrell Compton and brings the lead down to 57-46 for Lone Peak. Arbor View out of Las Vegas have yet to lose so far this season. They're sitting at 2-0 after getting wins against West Jordan and Corner Canyon. In danger of losing their first one tonight as Lone Peak hold that lead. Here comes a 3 from Dickel. No good. Brought down by Darden. Offensive rebound. Puts it back up. Can't get it to go. And now a foul call. Turnover. Lone Peak ball. This one will go against Darden. And now Lone Peak looking to play it inbounds with Kramer. Pressed by Darden. And now Kramer pushes it up in the corner for Staley. 3, yes! 3-point shot from Ike Staley, who has been near perfect from that corner. 60-46 Lone Peak lead with 6:54 left to go in the fourth. Darden now brings it up for Arbor View. To Farrell Compton. Compton back out to Darden near the top of the key. Pulls up. Rims in and out and brought down by Chamberlain. Jackson Taylor now pushing up for Lone Peak. A foul called again against Darden. Gets called for his third of the night. And now Lone Peak will play it inbounds to Chamberlain Burgess, who is fouled by Farrell Compton. And I believe Compton gets his 5th? No, that's his 4th. One more for Compton. 6:30 left to go here in the fourth. And now Catton will play it in. Cole Katzen again for Lone Peak. Has options, scanning, looking near the top of the key. Settles it to Kramer. Burgess against Farrell Compton. Stolen by Romero, and now Arbor View have a lane. Steps out of bounds, and it'll go back out to Lone Peak. They'll say that Maximus Romero stepped out of bounds, and that ball will go back to the Knights. Kramer for Lone Peak. Tries to get around Romero, and now a foul called. This one will go against Maximus Romero, and he's called for his fourth team foul for Arbor View here in the fourth quarter. Played in. Kramer under the basket, puts it up, can't get it to go. Brought down by Kramer again, still an opportunity, and now stolen, but a foul called. Townsend will be called for his fifth, and Townsend is done. Townsend's called for his fifth foul, and he is fouled out for the evening. 6 minutes left to go here in the fourth, and they'll have to play the rest of this one without Brian Townsend. Kramer now at the line. Fifth team foul for Arbor View. Kramer puts it up and gets it to go. First free throw is good. Townsend heads over to the bench, not happy as he fouls out. Kramer, second one is good. 2 for 2 on that trip to the line for Thompson Kramer. And now it's Arbor View in possession with Darden out to Romero. Romero at the baseline, gives it to Dickel underneath, and one. Madden Dickel puts it up and in, and now has the chance at a three-point play. Dickel from the free throw line, can't get it to go. Brought down by Romero, who puts it back up, and a foul will call. This one will go against Chamberlain, and we'll have another opportunity at the free throw line. Chamberlain Burgess is fifth of the night. He's done. Logan Belcher will check in. So now we have Brian Townsend at 5 and Chamberlain Burgess, who heads to the bench with 5. Romero at the line for free throws. First one is no good. 62-48 is the lead for the Knights. Romero at the line for another free throw. Second free throw is up and is good. Off the rim and in for Maximus Romero. Lone Peak looking to play the ball up now with Jackson Taylor. Taylor will try it from 3. Off the rim, no good. Brought down by Romero. And now the Aggies push it up. Maximus Romero to Compton. Compton finds Darden. Darden lays it up and it's good. (51-62) Lone Peak leads it. Darden gets the layup to go, and it's a timeout taken on the court, and we'll take one as well here on the Rewind Sports Network. All right, welcome back into Corner Canyon High School. 5:20 left to go here in the fourth. Knights lead it 62-51 after the timeout. And now Kramer against Farrell Compton. Kramer in the corner for Staley. Back out to Kramer. 12 left on the shot clock. Kramer to Belcher. Belcher to Staley. Out to Jackson Taylor, who puts up a three. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by the Knights. Shot clock resets. Back out to Cole Set. And now out to Staley. Three, no good. And brought down by Compton. The Aggies will now push it up as they need some big buckets to close the gap with time running out here in the fourth. Compton taking it to the rack, puts it up, and one. Just what the doctor ordered for the Aggies. Have a chance now at a three-point play as the lead is now down to single digits for the Lone Peak Knights. Substitution as Ty Cogswell checks in. Free throw coming up for Farrell Compton. Big free throw on the line here for Compton as that one is up and in. Yes. 62-54, Lone Peak lead. Cole Canton will now bring it up, and a foul call. This one will go against Madden Dickel. His first foul of the night. And so we'll have Cole Canton at the line for two. The first free throw is up from Canton, and it's good. Here's an opportunity for Canton to get the lead back out to double digits for the Knights as Canton puts his second free throw up, and it's good. 2 for 2 on that trip to the line for Cole Canton, and it's a 10-point lead again for the Knights. Madden Dickel here on the other end. Layup, nice defensive play from Ty Cogswell. Comes off of the Aggies, and so it'll remain Knight ball. And an empty possession for Arbor View. Cole Canton will now look to play it up for the Lone Peak Knights against Darden. Canton looking to play it out. Plays it out to Ty Cogswell. Cogswell trying to get it out to Taylor Jackson. Turnover for the Knights. Curtis Green will look to put it up and gets it to go. Single-digit lead again for the Knights. 3 minutes left, 3:40 left to go. As Kramer brought down by Darden, a foul called. Darden called for his fourth foul. And his teammates not happy with that foul. As Thompson Kramer will head to the line for two here for Lone Peak. Kramer at the line. First free throw is up and no good. Spins in and out. Second free throw coming up for Kramer, but a timeout taken prior to, and we'll take one as well here on the Rewind Sports Network. Welcome back into Corner Canyon High School, host of the Tournament of Champions. It's the Lone Peak Knights taking on the Arbor View Aggies. Lone Peak leads it 64-56 with 3:34 left to go in the fourth. And we'll have Thompson Kramer at the line for a free throw. Been a good battle so far, and the difference for the Knights has been their ability to score beyond the arc, as Kramer will get it to go. Goes 1 for 2 on that trip to the line. And now the Aggies trying to respond. 9-point game, 65-56. Romero out to the corner for Curtis Green. Will try it from three, no good. And Jackson Taylor gets it for the Knights. Kramer will now bring it up for Lone Peak. Kramer to Jackson Taylor. Ty Cogswell now. Cogswell at the baseline looking for Ike Staley. Plays it out. 3 from Taylor, and it's no good. Rebounded by the Aggies, as now Matt and Dickel will bring it up. Farrell Compton against Staley. Compton puts it up, and Compton gets it to go and cuts into that Lone Peak lead. Cole Catton will now bring it up. Ty Cogswell out to the corner for Jackson Taylor. Taylor will keep the ball and slow things down for Lone Peak as we got 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Taylor gets around Compton, looks for options. Catton out to Cogswell. Cogswell near the top of the key. Plays it out. Ike Staley with the 3. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Kramer. And another opportunity for Lone Peak here as the shot clock resets. Kramer to Taylor. And again, Lone Peak can just slow things down. No need to rush. Ty Cogswell to Cole Catton. Double teamed. Looking for options. Out to Taylor. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Underneath. Staley puts it up and hits it with the dunk. 2 on the board for Lone Peak. 2 on the board for Ike Staley. Now Darden on the other end looking to respond. Farrell Compton puts it up. Can't get it to go. And one back by the Knights. 1:30 left to go here in the fourth. 64-58. And a foul called. It'll go against Matt and Dickel. And so now Lone Peak heads to the line once more with 1:27 left to go here in the fourth. 2 free throws coming up for the Knights. Jackson Taylor gets the first one to go. 10-point lead again for Lone Peak. For a second there, for a moment there, it looked like Arbor View were going to be able to claw back into it and make a game out of it. But that dunk from Ike Staley says otherwise. And now Arbor View having the ball here on the other end. Stolen by Ike Staley, who has had a tremendous game tonight. And now Lone Peak push it up with Kramer. Out to Cole Catton. In the corner for Staley. Thought about it. And a foul called. Or excuse me, that's out of bounds. And now Belcher will play it in to Jackson Taylor. Taylor looking for options. Belcher. Lone Peak stuck in a corner. Finally able to play it out to Kramer. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Nice press from Arbor View, but a foul called by Romero, and that might be it for Maximus Romero. Number 5 for Romero, and he is heading to the bench. 47 seconds left on the shot clock, or excuse me, on the game clock. 69-58 Lone Peak lead. The Knights did a good job to just pass the ball around, make sure that Arbor View didn't have possession of it. And now with some free throws, as the first one is just good. Another free throw make here for Jackson Taylor should just about do it for the Lone Peak Knights. Taylor will put it up and gets it to go. 2 for 2 on that trip to the line for Lone Peak as Darden now brings it up. Darden dumps it off to Farrell Compton. Compton with the dunk and puts 2 on the board for Arbor View. Kramer will push it up. Darden. Kramer out to Taylor. Back out to Kramer. 19 on the shot clock, 20 on the game clock. Underneath to Catton. Belcher out to Staley, who thought about the 3, and a foul. That one will go against Farrell Compton. And that should do it for Farrell Compton, as he's called for his 5th of the night. "13 seconds left on the clock. Ike Staley at the line for a pair of free throws. And the first one is good. Second free throw coming up. And is good. Or excuse me, is no good. And now Darden on the other end puts it up, gets it to go, and with 3 seconds left, Lone Peak will just hold on to it and see it out, and that'll do it. The Lone Peak Knights improve to 2-2 on the year, handing Arbor View of Las Vegas their first loss of the season. The final score, Lone Peak 72, Arbor View Aggies 62 here at Corner Canyon. Good job all night for the Lone Peak Knights from beyond the arc, who were clinical from their three-point shot. Ike Staley, in particular, had a fantastic game, was able to be nearly perfect from the corner three. Also had some big blocks defensively. Arbor View, who came up with a lot of empty possessions, and that's going to be the difference as Lone Peak again walks out with the 72-62 win over the Arbor View Aggies to improve to 2-2 on the year. That's going to do it for us here on the Rewind Sports Network. As always, presented by Heidemann Associates. I'm Alex Napolis. Big shout out to Austin on the camera. And from the entire Rewind Sports family, we thank you for watching. Everybody have a good night, and we'll see you next time.